Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to announce the winner to my Profusion Cosmetics giveaway. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my under eye filler Restylane injections that I got. First injections that I ever got was 2.5 years ago. Then I got a touch-up about a year after that. So I want to talk about that because to this day, probably weekly, I get a question about my under eye fillers. Do I like them? Are they holding up? Would I ever do it again? What's the cost? You know, those kind of questions. So I'm gonna try to answer all of those in this video because I feel like I just keep responding the same way to, you know, somebody every single week. But I thought, you know, for all the people that take the time to leave a comment and ask, there's probably others that might want to know just in case it's something that you're interested in. So I'm gonna go ahead and that's what this video is gonna be about. So that's what this video is gonna be about. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so first things first, I want to announce the winner to my Profusion Cosmetics giveaway, and that winner is Teresa. I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, Teresa Keough. So Teresa, T-E-R-E-S-A, and then Keough is spelled K-E-O-U-G-H. So you are the lucky winner, congratulations. I'm gonna go ahead and leave some instructions in my description box. If you have an Instagram account, then I would definitely like to get that from you. Unfortunately, my last giveaway, I accidentally sent somebody $100 that was a fake account. So congratulations, and like I said, there will be instructions in my description box so that we can communicate and I can get your address and stuff like that. Okay, so let's talk under eye filler. Now, one of the first questions that I get asked most often is, would I ever do it again? And the answer is absolutely 100% yes. There's probably never ever gonna be a time that I'm not gonna do it again if it starts dissolving. And the reason I say that is because whenever I had the under eye puffiness, it was just a major source of distress for me. And I'm gonna go ahead and put up some little video clips of how I looked whenever I had the under eye filler. Now there's one clip that I show, and I have shown in other videos before, where I'm in the absolute worst lighting ever. It's actually right here, but all my lights are off and stuff like that. And the under eye puffiness just really, you know, jumps out and it looks terrible. And anyway, the other day, I actually had that video clip like pulled up on my laptop and I turned it towards my husband and my daughter and I was like, can you believe that I used to look like this with this under eye puffiness? And both of them were like, no, you did not. You have never ever looked like that to me. And I was like, but that is me. Like that's me in a video, so you can't say that. And my husband's like, Jennifer, you could put anybody in really bad lighting. You could even put a 10-year-old in bad lighting and it's gonna make their face look, you know, kind of bizarre. But nobody, he's like, I swear to you, you never ever looked like that to me. I never looked at you and saw under eye bags. And, you know, I kind of see where he's coming from because there were times, you know, depending on kind of what mirror I was in or what the lighting situation was in a room, then, you know, my bags might look more or less pronounced. I'm gonna put up another video clip here real fast where I was doing my hair in my bathroom where the lighting's just not that great. And so you can get, so that you can see kind of what I saw from day to day whenever I looked in the mirror. It wasn't as extreme as the one with the lights off and you know the overhead lighting. That video, that video totally reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, it's Seinfeld, and it was a video where I think they called her two-faced or something because she would look so cute and pretty sometimes, and then all of a sudden, you know, in the worst lighting, she would just look like a rat or something. I don't remember exactly, but it was really funny. And that's how I felt. I felt like depending on the lighting or where I was or what bathroom I was in or something like that, then, you know, it could kind of determine the way that I looked. Regardless, it was a major source of distress for me because sometimes I would get just so much sleep and I would feel so rested and I would drink a lot of water and all these things. And I would look in the mirror in the morning and what I saw in the mirror did not reflect the way that I felt inside, and that can be very disheartening. So as long as there are fillers available and as long as my body will accept them, then I will continue to get them to camouflage the under eye puffiness. Now, I feel like with everything, there is always a little bit of a trade-off. Even though I am so happy that I don't have the under eye puffiness anymore, like I said, there's kind of a trade-off because there was a time whenever I would smile or laugh real hard, which I smile and laugh a lot, like a lot. Whenever I had the bags, it's like they would just totally flatten out. I don't know if my cheeks would come up and flatten them out or muscles would contract and push them down or something. I don't know what would happen, but you couldn't see the under eye bags at all. So whenever I would smile in pictures and stuff, I never, ever, ever saw my under eye bags in pictures when I was smiling. However, if I was making a straight face, then I would see, you know, the under eye puffiness. But now that I have the fillers, whenever I laugh sometimes real hard, I can actually see the filler pop out a little bit. And because now that I'm fuller here, I feel like it's kind of made my cheeks look a little flatter. And, you know, like I said, that's a trade-off. I could, if I wanted to, go and get a little bit more filler right in here so that I wouldn't be able to see that, but I don't want to be overfilled. I don't want to go down that slippery slope, even though I feel like I'm already on it. But because I have considered doing that, because there's times where I'll smile real big, or if I'm retaining a lot of water, because filler does attract water. So if you're retaining water, or if you're eating a lot of salt and stuff like that, sometimes the filler will plump up a little bit. Not bad, not all that noticeable. But I do notice that every month, right before, you know, that time, for one full day, I'm a little puffy under here, but it doesn't look like bags. Instead, it looks like dents under my eyes. That's kind of funny. And so, you know, you have to play around with makeup or something like that. But yeah, I will definitely get it again. I don't ever want to see my under eye puffiness again. Okay, so let me start by saying I got my first set of injections about 2.5 years ago. And it was March of 2016. And I ended up getting 1.5 vials of Restylane all together. Not in the very first visit. As a matter of fact, the very first visit, I really don't think that I went to somebody that was qualified enough. I thought that I did my homework, but I really feel like she was not qualified to do that area. I should have stuck with my initial instinct, which was to go to a plastic surgeon. And I did try to go to the plastic surgeon. However, he could not see me for at least 3 months, and I wanted it done yesterday. So I went ahead and settled for his nurse practitioner that supposedly had been working underneath him for about 10 years and was supposedly really qualified. However, I don't think she was, mainly because I bruised super, super, super bad on this side. Not just that, she spent about 15 minutes on this side, about 5 on this side. This side I think was overfilled. This one I had to get a touch up about a month later, because once the swelling went down, I could still see my bag a little bit on this side. And like I said, this one was really a little bit overfilled. So the first visit, she used 1 syringe and she split it up between both eyes, but I don't feel like she split it up evenly. Second time, or for the touch-up that was like a month later, I could have gone 2 weeks later, but I wanted to wait a full month because I wanted to make sure all the swelling had gone down. I didn't want to chase swelling with filler, because the swelling will eventually go down and filler doesn't. So I didn't want to make that mistake. So I waited a full month. So I was a little lopsided for about a full month. And then that second visit, she used a 1/2 syringe to fix this side. So altogether, and I don't even think she used the entire 1/2 syringe, but altogether it cost me $1,000. It was $750, I think, for the first visit of 1 syringe, and then it was $300 and something, but she gave me a discount since I was traveling from 3.5, hours away, which is something I do not suggest doing. But so the second time she did give me a bit of a discount. I think it was a little over $1,000 altogether. Now, the second time I got it done was a year later. 1 full year later, I started to see that it was dissolving just a little bit in the inner corners, and I didn't like that. So I found a plastic surgeon here locally, and I want to say he charged me $375 or something like that for a 1/2 syringe, and he touched up the inner corners, and he did not use a cannula. That's also something that's different. With her, she used what's called a cannula. It's called a blunt cannula, and it's really, really tiny, but supposedly if you use it, there's less likelihood that you will bruise or that the needle will go through a vein or artery, and they might accidentally inject in a vein or artery, and that could cause all sorts of problems that you don't want to have to go through. So the first time I did a lot of research, and I was convinced that I needed to go to somebody that used a blunt cannula. And if you watched that video where I show kind of the, the healing process, after Restylane, you'll see that I bruised so badly. Like I said, I just don't think she was qualified, because she did use the blunt cannula and I still bruised so bad. Second time I went to a plastic surgeon here locally. It was 1 year. It was actually March of 2017, a year after my original injections. And he did not use a blunt cannula. He just used a needle, in and out. and he charged about $3.75, and I got half syringe. Now it is, what are we, very, very into September 2018, and there's no way on God's green earth that I need any type of touch-up whatsoever. I still have Restylane under my eyes from my original injections 2.5 years ago, because when he touched it up, he only touched it up in here, which is what I originally wanted. I just wanted her to camouflage the puffiness on the inside corners where it was puffy. I don't know why she added some right in here, but I hated it. I was just like, why would you? I didn't have bags over there on the sides of my eyes, you know? So I feel like because she overfilled it over here, I felt like it kind of gave me a dent right there. So anyway, I feel like that is still actually there. So it has been 2.5 years since my original injections, and I still feel like I have filler in my under eye area from my original appointment, and then also from my last appointment, which was about 1.5 years ago. Altogether, I have spent about almost $1,400, but if you divide that by the amount of months that it has lasted me, and I'm sure it's going to continue to last for a lot longer because none of it has dissolved at all. So far, it's lasted about, how many months? 2 years, so 24, 26, about 30 months. So what is 1,400 divided by 30? Comes out to $46 a month. To me, I mean, that is less than you would spend getting your hair done every month or even every other month. So to me, it's your face, and if you don't like the way you look with under eye puffiness and you want to finance something like this, I would say it's definitely worth it. So as long as it looks pretty natural on me and I don't feel like I'm getting overfilled or anything like that, then I will definitely continue to do it because it has just given me my self-esteem back, you know. And I hate to say something like that because, you know, you always worry about putting too much value in your looks and stuff like that. But if it's affecting you and if it's something that is fixable, then by all means do it. I mean, a lot of us don't like the way that we look with gray hair or a natural color hair, so we go and color it and get it highlighted. Some of us don't like the way we look with crooked teeth, so we get braces, you know, to fix them. It just all depends, I guess, on where you draw the line with fixing your appearance, you know, when it comes to things that you're not happy about. And for me, that is a line I'm willing to cross because I didn't like the way that I looked. I didn't like the way it was making me feel. So that about sums it all up. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off my lights real fast, and I'm gonna turn on the overhead light so that I can kind of, you know, show you what I look like in really bad lighting with the under eye filler, you know, so let me do that real fast. Okay, so here we are without all of my professional lighting on. Obviously, I look a lot different. I don't have these bright green eyes and this flawless skin and stuff like that. I've got my overhead light right there, and then I've got some light that's coming in from a window over here. So obviously, you know, now that I've turned off all the lights and I have the overhead lighting on, you don't see these bags that pop out. You may be able to tell that there's filler there. I don't know. I actually feel like it looks pretty natural. I'm very happy with it. You know, even like I said, this is the absolute worst lighting in my house. If I went to my daughter's bathroom, it's like, oh my God, it's such great lighting, and it's still overhead, but I don't know what it is about the lighting in that bathroom. It's just great. And then, you know, our guest bathroom is pretty good too. I'm not crazy about the lighting in my master bathroom. But anyway, so this is it. This is how it looks. Now in that original video, I did pull my hair back and tilt my head down because that's when they seem to really pop out. So as you can tell, there's still, you know, just a ton of improvement. So just major improvement, and I'm really happy with it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.